For today's topic, we have pointless NPCs in Pokemon Yellow. Some NPCs are there to be helpful, some NPCs are there to battle you, and there's some NPCs that are just kind of there. They're basically used to add a little life to the world, so I figured why not talk about a few of them. So, let's get it started. In Fuchsia City, we have this NPC named Eric. And after you walk up and talk to him, he says, "Where's Sarah? I said I'd meet her here." And that's all he says. Just who is this mysterious Sarah? Well, in order to figure that out, we'll need to head to the Safari Zone. Sarah can actually be found in the Safari Zone rest house, which you can find right when you enter the Safari Zone. When talking to her, she says, "Where did my boyfriend Eric go?" So it seems like they were supposed to meet each other, but got confused on the meeting location. However, in the original Japanese version of the game, Eric and Sarah aren't actually these NPCs' names, and they're not boyfriend and girlfriend either. These two NPCs were actually cameos of Koji Nishino and Atsuko Nishida, who worked for Game Freak. When they translated the Japanese text to English, this cameo was removed. So after researching online, here's what the NPCs were actually meant to say. I asked Koji to go catch Pokemon with me, but where is he? That's weird. Atsuko said to use a bird Pokemon to go meet her, but I can't find any bird Pokemon. The translators changing this leaves the English versions of these NPCs to be kind of pointless. But I also noticed that Eric is standing next to a Slowpoke and saying that his girlfriend is late meeting him there, which I like to think implies that it's some kind of Slowpoke joke. It's just coincidence, I'm sure, but it's still kind of funny to think about. Now, Celadon is a huge city with so many people visiting all the time, but if you actually walk in all of the buildings, you'll find this one building on the side over here that just happens to be a hotel. Now, if you walk up to the counter and you talk to the innkeeper, you think, oh, okay, maybe I can get a room and stay here. But no. What do you think this is, Mario RPG? Anyway, according to this NPC, the reason that you can't get a room here is because they're full up. So what's the purpose of this building anyway? If you can't get a room here, you can't get any items here, then it's kind of a pointless area, isn't it? Well, yeah, it is. Other than to just fill up the game world, I guess. And if you talk to the other NPCs that are standing around in this inn, then you kind of find out another little side story going on over here. There's this girl that's on vacation with her brother and her boyfriend. And if you talk to her brother over here on the couch, he says, "My sis brought me on this vacation." And he's all excited about it and everything. But over here, if you talk to her boyfriend, he says, "Why did she bring her brother?" It's just kind of a funny little side story that unless you come in here and actually talk to these NPCs and read what they have to say, you wouldn't even really know this was here, because otherwise it's just kind of a pointless area. However, in the hotel in Fire Red and Leaf Green, there's actually a mysterious staircase behind the counter that we can't reach. People have tried using glitches or cheats to get to it, but unfortunately there's no way to actually get up those stairs, as it turns out to be just a dead end. And just as a side note, any of the rest of the NPCs that I talk about in this video might actually say something different in the Japanese version, and when researching online I couldn't find any differences, so for the rest of this video I'm basically just going to be talking about the English versions of the game. But if they do happen to say anything different in the Japanese versions, then be sure and let me know in the comments section below. So, on the SS Anne, there's a lot of different rooms you can explore, and a lot of different NPCs that are guests on the SS Anne. In one cabin you enter, there's this girl that just walks around in her room, and if you talk to her, she says, "Waiter, I would like a cherry pie." What do you mean? Do I look like I work here or something? And yeah, other than her saying that, there's really no other point to this NPC. She doesn't battle you, there's no items in her room to be found, just kind of wants a cherry pie, cause she's freaking hungry. In the next cabin over, we have this guy and his little girl, I guess, just standing around in their cabin, and when you talk to the guy, he says, "A cruise is so elegant yet cozy." And when you talk to the little girl, she says, "I always travel with Wigglytuff." Wigglytuff? Excuse me, little girl, but that is a Jigglypuff. Get it right. But when you actually talk to the Jigglypuff, it actually is a Wigglytuff. Nothing in my life makes sense anymore. Even Pikachu's like, what the hell? In Fire Red and Leaf Green, it was actually changed to a Wigglytuff. I guess due to the limitations of the original games, they just used a Jigglypuff sprite. But it's still funny that back in the day, all we saw was a Jigglypuff sprite. I'm sure it caused so much confusion for all the new people that were playing back then. Alright, and the last NPCs I want to talk about are the cooks in the kitchen. So all the cooks in the kitchen are of course doing different things, cooking their food. And if you talk to them, they don't really say anything much, but tell you about, what they're cooking. But there is this one guy that gives you a little hint that you can find some items in the trash can. So I guess some of these do have somewhat point to them. But overall, you can't really get any food from them or buy anything from them, so they're just kind of there. And this guy is upset because he only gets to peel onions. And they're making him cry. And this guy just tells you about Snorlax because they're cooking food and, Snorlax is freaking hungry. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I want to thank my Patreons for their continued support of the channel. If you want to support the channel, then consider donating on Patreon. It helps keep this channel going. It helps keep this boat afloat. Don't let my channel sink like the SSN. You know what I mean? The link for that is in the description box below. If you don't have Patreon, but you still want to support the channel, you can donate by clicking on the Super Thanks button below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, click the bell, and set the notifications to all, if you want to see more awesome videos like this one. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments section below if you guys know of any other NPCs in these games that were pointless that I may have missed. Because I'm sure there were a lot more, but these were just the ones that I decided to cover. Maybe I'll do another video on pointless NPCs in the other Pokemon games. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing that kind of content or not, because this one was just gonna be kind of a one-off. Also, if you're new to the channel, be sure and check out some of my other Pokemon videos. My most recent one was talking about creepy backwards Pokemon music, in which I talk about different Pokemon songs and play them backwards, and see just how creepy they sound. I've also done a 50 Things Wrong list with every Pokemon generation, and I've also done videos on other Nintendo games as well. So if any of that content interests you, be sure and go check it out. I'll have the link to the playlist at the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. This has been Brandon, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.